We have to help Ukraine have the long-range capabilities to make Crimea unviable. We need to choke the life out of Crimea, and I think if we do that, I think Putin will realise he's got something to lose.
Ex-UK Defence Secretary Ben Wallace has made a striking call at the Warsaw Security Forum, urging Western backers to help make Crimea not inhabitable. Wallace argued that Russia sees the Black Sea Peninsula as a holy mount, a region of immense symbolic and strategic importance. He said Ukraine should focus on strikes that inflict the greatest damage.
We have to help Ukraine have the long-range capabilities to make Crimea unviable. We need to choke the life out of Crimea, and I think if we do that, I think Putin will realise he's got something to lose.
The former Defence Secretary suggested prioritising attacks on the Kerch Strait Bridge, which connects Crimea to Russia's Krasnodar region. Ukrainian forces previously struck the bridge in October 2022 and July 2023, temporarily halting traffic. Wallace has a history of urging Kyiv to mobilise more of its population to fight Russian forces. His latest comments highlight the escalating rhetoric from Western officials supporting Ukraine's offensive capabilities. Crimea, home to around 2.5 million people, has been under Russian occupation since February 2014, following the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Russian president Viktor Yanukovych. The Kremlin moved around 30,000 troops into the peninsula, securing a 27,000 square kilometre region within weeks. Shortly after the occupation, Crimea held a referendum to secede from Ukraine and join Russia. Western governments, however, declared the vote illegal and null. In March 2014, the United Nations General Assembly voted, with 100 member states condemning Russia's annexation. Since 2014, Ukraine has maintained an economic blockade on Crimea, cutting electricity and water supplies. The region also remains home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet, cementing its strategic value in the region. Amid Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, President Volodymyr Zelensky promised to retake the peninsula. But as of April 2025, reports emerged that President Donald Trump's administration considered de jure recognition of Russia's control over Crimea. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has criticised the UK as a leading supporter of the conflict, calling it too stupid.
Давайте комментировать все-таки заявление действующего министра обороны. Что касается бывших заместителей обороны, тем более тех, кто делают такие глупые заявления, не считаем необходимым комментировать.
Wallace's remarks reflect a strategic calculus. Making Crimea uninhabitable would, in his words, make President Putin realise he has something to lose, potentially altering Moscow's behaviour in the ongoing war.
We have to help Ukraine have the long-range capabilities to make Crimea unviable. We need to choke the life out of Crimea, and I think if we do that, I think Putin will realise he's got something to lose.
Historically, Crimea has been central to Russia's military strategy. Its Black Sea ports provide naval dominance, while the peninsula's location secures access to southern Ukraine and the broader Black Sea region. Wallace's comments have sparked international attention, raising questions about the ethics and feasibility of strategies aimed at making a densely populated region uninhabitable. Analysts note that such approaches could have major humanitarian consequences. For Ukraine and its Western allies, Crimea represents both a symbolic and strategic battleground, and debates over the peninsula's future remain a central issue in the broader Russia-Ukraine conflict.